Hey everyone, take a look at this screen behind me. That is today's special guest, 7-year-old Elizabeth. We have a special follow-up to a segment from 2018. See how this sweet miracle child is living with Calder regression, going to school, traveling the globe, meeting astronauts, and keeping up with the other kids, thanks to AMBUCS Augusta. It's a segment filled with hope and possibility, and it's coming up right now on Jennie. Everyone, thank you for joining us today. I'm Jennie Montgomery. We are devoting this entire show to follow up with the little miracle child in Augusta. You first met her back in 2018. Her name is Elizabeth. She's 7 years old now, but before she was born, doctors doubted that she would live even 7 hours. Elizabeth was born with a rare condition called Calder regression syndrome. It occurs once in about 100,000 newborns. Take a look. Calder regression syndrome is characterized by abnormal development of the lower spine of the developing fetus. You can see in this x-ray that bones may be misshapen, even missing. Calder regression impairs the lower half of the body and can cause abnormal development in certain organs, the rectum and anus, and leg joints and bones. This disorder commonly appears in infants who are born to mothers with diabetes, in which it affects approximately 1 in 350 newborns. There's also a clear interrelation with insulin-dependent diabetes in mothers. Krystina, when we look at this baby today, I just can't help but thinking back to a time when you all had decided to go through with the pregnancy, basically to donate organs.
Yes, they told us she wouldn't live. It was about donating her organs to a child that would need them and making funeral arrangements for her.
Yeah.
And thank God none of that happened. And she's a little Spitfire.
And look who is with us now. Look at the changes. Elizabeth is now 7 years old, and her grandmother, Krystina, is with us again, who looks 7 years younger than she did before. But we're so happy that you're here. And, you know, Elizabeth, what we saw in that video was you in your bumpus chair. Do you remember when you were little and you had the bumpus chair?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got a really cool wheelchair. And I think you've had a few wheelchairs maybe as you've grown to different sizes.
Yeah.
And now you get to have a bike. And you get to ride your bike like other kids do, right?
Yeah.
Can you show us? Can you show us?
Like,
Now, Krystina, what does this feel like to you to see her doing this?
It's the complete circle. It really is. She's wanted the bike. We go to the park. Why can't it?
Yeah.
It just makes my heart so happy that she can be included with other kids and what they do and know what it is.
You have got strong arms, and you used your arms in your bumpus chair too, didn't you? That's how you use your arms for everything.
it was like my wheelchair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. When you were really little, it was like your wheelchair.
But smaller.
Yeah, definitely smaller, definitely smaller. What do you love about having the Amtrak?
Like, I like.
Going to the park with me.
Yeah, like
and riding
going,
our bikes.
Yeah, and
I'm going to move you a little bit so they can see your face while we're talking.
Well,
Look over there.
So like
Let me come over here. So what?
So like we go to the park and we go to the park and we go bike riding. And my favorite part, and we like go down this hill.
You go down a hill? Is it scary?
No, it's like I go up a hill, and when we're done, we go down a hill, and then we go back in our car.
Wow, wow! And you see other kids, and you're playing while they're playing.
Well, it was like we were like on the other side. There was no kids on that side, but there was other kids on this side.
Yeah, yeah. It must be so fun, though. It must make you feel really happy to be able to do that. And to just go off on your own, not have to have somebody behind you pushing you. Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool, cool. I'm gonna come back to my chair now. You can ride a little bit more if you want to.
No.
Okay.
Go over
and
there.
You can go that way, and we'll get one more good shot of you.
You got it, girl.
Krystina, how, I know your bumpus chair came from people in New England, right?
New York, Webster, New York, Bella's Bumbas. And again, that was one that they custom made for her. And that chair was reproduced almost 45 times for other children with her condition who didn't have any clue about it.
Right.
Because they didn't fit into the regular Bumbus chairs because of the way
Yes.
their legs are.
Yeah.
So she's been a trailblazer when it comes to my dedication to find things for her.
Yes.
That gives her some equality with other children.
And I know one thing you've done probably way more than other children is travel. Can you tell me some of the cities you've been to and the countries?
I've been to Paris, Alaska. No, not Alaska.
Not yet.
You're going to
No.
Alaska.
Yeah, and I went to.
You've been to the Queen's house,
Yeah, and London and
Bar,
and New York and
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Spain.
Bahamas.
You've been to Spain
Yeah,
and the Bahamas.
yeah.
I hear you are quite the little cruiser. You like to cruise? Yeah.
It was my first time going on a cruise when we went to the Bahamas.
Love it. Love it. It's really neat that you've been able to do all of that. And you've flown many plane rides, haven't you? Yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, a lot. You're what we would call a seasoned traveler.
Yeah.
A spoiled traveler.
And you like it, don't you? Yeah. Really, really neat.
Yeah.
And it's been important to you, Krystina. One of the things you had said to me was, you're just going to give her as many experiences as you can.
If I'm going to continue living my life and she gets the benefit of going with me, it's been more challenging to find what is accessible for her.
Right.
But I think I told you I'm starting a blog.
Yes.
That will, like Barcelona was the most accessible place for us to be.
Wow.
From the buses to the trains to everything. London was second because every black cab has a wheelchair ramp.
Everyone?
Every black cab in London.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
getting around London was easy, you just had to hail a cab. New York is great to walk around because all the sidewalks have you can go up and down them. But to try to hail a handicap cab, they'll drive right past you
Wow.
in New York, but
Yeah.
that's New Yorkers for you. But yeah, I mean, the cruising has been amazing because she can go anywhere on the boat with the wheelchair.
And when you travel with her, she's in her wheelchair.
She's always in her wheelchair.
This would stay at home.
No, yeah, that stays
This
at home.
stays home.
That
It's
stays home.
Your,
We just-
your
the wheelchair
recreational
goes.
vehicle. Yeah.
Yes, that just goes to the park with us.
Well, when we come back, we're going to talk with the folks who helped fit Elizabeth into this Amtrike. And we'll take a break from you, Elizabeth. We're going to give you a minute because you need to go back to the green room and freshen up, I'm sure, Miss Star of the show here. So we'll give you a little break, but when we come back, we're going to bring in a couple of other folks into the conversation. Stay with us. Krystina is back with me now. She's over on the end of the couch, and we're bringing in the folks who built that Amtrike for Elizabeth. It's from a group called AMBUCS, and it's all about helping people with physical challenges gain mobility and independence. Matt Trainer is the president of the Augusta chapter and director of the Southern region. AMBUCS also works with physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists, and people including Carol Colica, who is right here in the white shirt. She's the one who is the Amtrike coordinator for the Augusta area. So I really appreciate you all coming and being a part of this today because I think mobility is just so important. And I know how excited Krystina was telling me and sending me a video, the first time when Elizabeth was on it. How did you connect with AMBUCS?
I had went to Chain Reaction and asked about
Like an adaptive
an
bike or
adaptive
something?
bicycle, and they had told me that, well, yeah, we can get them, but they're very expensive, but there is someplace that will help you. And they gave me the name, and I found it online and filled out the application, and then totally forgot all about it. Just
Right.
wasn't something that was in the front of my mind. And probably 4 months ago, Carol sent me a message and said, "Are you still interested?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, yes."
Right.
Because she goes to physical therapy right there. She sees the bicycles all the time at Chain Reaction, and
Yeah.
you know, I couldn't do anything. So we met with Carol, and they fitted her.
So Carol, I want to ask you about that. As the coordinator, you're meeting with the different kids, you know,
Right.
getting them assigned with therapists, however it works. You do have to make certain adaptations, I guess, and certain adjustments for the trikes.
Correct.
And with Elizabeth, you had to account for, you know, she doesn't have legs. So what did you have to do with her bike?
Well, when we met Elizabeth, we had her on a trike and she fit perfectly, but we had that one problem: how are we going to support her legs? So I called our national AMBUCS and worked with the engineer there, and he was kind of excited to get this challenge.
Sure. A man in a challenge,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
So he built this platform that fit on her trike perfectly. It fits so that when she's riding, her legs are totally supported.
Yes, yes. And we can see that in some of the pictures about how her legs are supported like
Yes.
that. And Matt, what does it do for you when you see a child, like the video of Elizabeth riding it for the first time? How does that make you feel?
Oh, it's a great feeling. You know, you just love to see the child and the family being so happy. You know, it makes you happy. Sometimes it might bring a tear to your eye, and you know that's our hook for getting people to help join our organization and, you know, serve the community in the fashion that we do.
Right, right. How did you start with AMBUCS? I'll go ahead and ask you that right now.
I joined AMBUCS about 22 years ago, and that was primarily through my daughter Virginia, who was severely handicapped. And so therapeutic equipment was a big part of our life. And when she passed away at the age of 5, I decided I wanted to really get into giving back to the community. And so the equipment, the AmTrike was, you know, something that I felt like was a great way to serve the community. And so that's when I got involved with joining AMBUCS.
And what an awesome way to honor your daughter's
Yes.
memory, you know, and then to be able to see what this means to other children. Do you work just with children, or do you work with other populations as well?
Our organization works with vets too, veterans primarily. Myself, as a pediatric physical therapist, I tend to just do the children's bikes because that's what I know.
Right.
Other organizations do hand out a lot of veterans bikes, but for me, I just like this population, and I know these bikes and I know how to fit them and build them, so I kind of stick with these.
And Krystina, this is also important for you to hear because you are in a situation, like we said, call to regression shows up in like 1 in 100,000 births. So it's very rare. And you have had so many hurdles in these years with Elizabeth, but just as Matt is sharing and continuing his legacy with his daughter, you really are intentional about a blog as a way to help other people who have children with challenges, to help them navigate, whether it's AmTrike or travel or whatever.
It is, because when I look, there's nothing. There was nothing. And as you're aware, when you pull up those first images, when you're told your child's going to have caudal regression,
Yeah.
they're horrific.
Right.
That's caudal regression.
Yeah.
That's the only thing she will never do at this point is walk.
Right.
Nothing else has stopped her.
You know, it reminds me of something that I said to you the first time we did a show with Elizabeth. It was just so profoundly obvious to me that the limitations that we put on people with physical challenges, we do that. Elizabeth didn't know she was different from anybody else. Elizabeth was just getting around and doing what she had to do to get around.
And she still does.
moved in that bumpus chair like nobody's business, and she could just get where she needed to be. And that really was very, very eye-opening
And she still
to
does.
see.
I mean, her only limitation is she can't walk. Her playroom's on the second floor of the house.
Yep.
She will dive into the pool. She swims. You know, she's her. I do not treat her as if she's handicapped.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I make her do everything that she can possibly do. When it's time for dinner, she climbs up onto the chair herself.
Yeah.
She gets out of the chair onto her chair herself.
And just like a child's car seat, Elizabeth's wheelchair had little crumbs in it. Just like a car seat.
Always.
Stick around. We're going to talk a little bit more with Carol and Matt after the break. Welcome back, everyone. Matt Trainer and Carol Kalika are back with me now to talk a little bit more about AMBUCS. I think it's such a worthy organization, and I really want to make sure you know about it. Matt, AMBUCS has a very special mission.
Yes, we do. We are a 501c3 service organization, and we excuse me, and we proudly support the CSRA. Basically, what we do, our primary mission is providing AmTrikes for children within our community, and they are very accessible, as you can see. They come in different sizes. They can be hand-powered, foot-powered, and and numerous accessories to help accommodate children and adults of riders of all different abilities.
Okay, and so with adults, you're saying children and adults of different ages?
Yes.
And different abilities. So, Carol, I see here, we talked about the one with Elizabeth, where she doesn't have legs, so she has the support there.
Correct.
This one has the foot pedals and straps with
Correct.
that.
So these AmTrikes are special because they're on a fixed drive system, and that fixed drive system means as the wheels turn, the pedals turn. So even if the child can't physically pedal that bike, they're going to move and feel like they're riding it.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
and then once they get the hang of it, you could change it to a real drive system, but we like the fixed drive system because it's sort of an assist. It will help them assist the ride.
And it's helping them get that feeling of independence that is just so important, especially as they age. To just be able to move on forward in life with a sense of independence
Exactly.
and mobility.
Exactly. We feel like we're helping level the playing field for all these folks. They're able to get out there. They're able to play with their family, their siblings, other children. And so they're able to. It's an inclusive type situation that we're providing for them.
Now, how do people find out about AMBUCS? Do you have pamphlets in special places, like when Krystina was talking about physical therapy? Is that how people find out about you from
Most
their?
of the referrals are from other therapists in the area. I'm in contact with quite a few therapists in the area, and they send us applications. You can also go online and do the application online, but primarily for, I think, our club, it's a therapist-driven application.
Okay, and it was interesting how you said your club, because this goes back to the volunteer chapters that you have.
Yes, the local chapters in local communities are how we do placements of AmTrikes. Our local Augusta chapter, we meet twice a month. We meet on the 1st and on the 3rd Tuesday of every month at 7 p.m. at Aparo Academy on Skinner Mill Road.
Are these bikes free for people, or do they pay for them? Where does the funding come
We
from?
do fundraising through our chapter, and we use that to do placements. We do accept donations, and we do fundraisers to help with support that mission-based activities. And and if somebody has some money, we're always accepting of donations, but we
Yeah.
do try to place them free of charge for families in need.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
Isn't that amazing? So sponsors really are very valuable to you.
Yeah, oh yes, they are.
You can do special bikes for the special needs for the children that you serve.
Yes.
Just terrific. And you did tell me that you also, veterans are another population that you really work with.
That's correct.
Right.
Or any adults that have mobility issues.
And you can always take people in your chapter who are interested in being a part of it.
That's correct. We're always looking forward to increase our membership.
Okay, terrific. I want to put the information on the screen for you. AMBUCS' mission is to inspire people to conquer challenges related to mobility and independence. They're made up, as we said, of a nationwide network of volunteer chapters who work in partnership with physical, occupational, and speech therapists to provide these Amtrike adaptive trikes. In our area of the CSRA, they serve Georgia counties, Richmond, Columbia, Burke, and in South Carolina, Aiken County. Again, you can go to AugustaAMBUCS.org or call 706-589-1211. We'll be right back. It's been awesome to visit with Miss Elizabeth, newly 7-year-old Elizabeth, that is. Wow. And Elizabeth, you know, I wonder if you would tell a little story about something that happened to you. Remember when you were at the Kennedy Space Center and you met an astronaut? Do you remember his name?
No.
Stephen Swanson.
Steven Swanson.
And you told him that you wanted to be an astronaut, right?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said I can go on the moon.
He said you could be an astronaut because in space you don't need what? You don't need legs.
Yeah.
He told you don't need legs in space.
And the other thing is you don't need nothing too. You just need your supplies and everything.
Maybe oxygen.
Yeah. You walk upside down, but you're not falling off.
Because there's no gravity.
No.
Yeah.
You don't fall
And
off
you don't
the
fall
moon.
off. No, it's amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
like you can go upside down.
You have so many things in store and so many adventures, and I can't wait to see what you're going to do. And thank you for spending part of your day with us today. We have enjoyed spending time with you, and I'll see you again for News Channel 6 at 4 o'clock. Have a wonderful afternoon, everyone. Can you wave bye?
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.